You're listening to the Be Forever Cool podcast. My name is Rex45. Hey, man, all I can say is thanks. Thank you. I think Stevie Wonder might have done a thank you song as a few other people. But I want to thank all the folks that are engaging with us on the podcast in real life and all that fun stuff. We appreciate it because we wouldn't be where we are without you. So go to the website, check out the merch. Subscribe, become a fan, all that fun stuff. Mention Be Forever Cool when you go to, if you're interested in Pirelli tires, let me get this right. Mark 10 Motorsport, there's some discounts, save some money, get some race tires for the track. It's sticky. Pirelli's is the best tire right now at the moment, so don't lose sight of that. And Be Forever Cool is the, I've been told in the past that I don't do a good job of telling the world how great I am. I'm not Muhammad Ali, but I believe I am. So it is what it is there. Woodcraft, mentioned Rexy, get hooked up there as well. Woodcraft products, I use them. I suggest them. TJ uses them. Lewis uses them. If you're at the track, you need products that work. You can replace. If you try and go fast, you're gonna crash. So that's just how it works. So if you fast, you're gonna crash. So you need some parts that you can replace. And if you ain't buying parts you can replace, that means you ain't fast. And I'll leave it there. This past weekend was World Superbike, and I'm still holding out hope to say that somebody's gonna beat Nicolo Bulega. But apparently Lewis gets to eat his ice cream, and Reese, maybe even TJ a little bit, but we're going to stop that because I believe Ika and some of these other riders are saying we're going to get you one time. And that's how racing is, right? Because you can't give up. If you're not in first place, you still can't give up. And that might be the tone for the night. We'll see. TJ, man, welcome to the show, man. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. It's nice weather out in Boston. Can't complain. Can finally be out here in a t-shirt instead of a hoodie or a winter jacket. Just World Superbike. Yeah, like you were saying, just hoping somebody can overtop Bulega. It's not trying to say it's getting boring because it's racing, but it's just like the same results every round. But other than that, basketball's finally over. The Knicks, they finally got their championship. I'll give it to them. But
you know whose fault that is, right?
We ain't gonna talk about that. Everyone has somebody to blame.
No, not everybody.
They just didn't show up that night.
Don't do that. You know whose fault that is, right? I'm just saying.
See, I'm not a Knicks fan, so I'm not gonna coincide with that. But for a Knicks fan, I see where they're coming from.
I'm not a Knicks fan.
He did mess with the vibe a little bit.
It's the Celtics' fault. You know that, right?
Oh, that's what you say? It's the Celtics' fault?
It's definitely the Celtics' fault. The Celtics'
fault. How is it our fault?
And
we allowed this to happen?
Yes. Listen, man. This is the Eastern Conference was us to lose. And we lost it.
It was.
And now Lewis gets to walk around and paint his eyelashes, his fingernails, toenails. Maybe he's in forehead orange and blue. And when he gets on, I'm pretty sure he's going to rub it in all our faces. But it's our fault that the Knicks won.
It's all right. It's all right. They can take it. All we got to do is say, 18. No,
it's not. That's not enough. Right. If there's any town you should put your foot on and keep your foot on the next, it's Boston against the Knicks of New York. I mean, when you're one of the first states, man, the rivalry runs a little bit deeper. Right, Lewis? It runs a little deeper when
I don't know what you're talking about, man. There's nothing interesting happened this weekend in my life, man. Nothing at all.
Yeah. I like the suit in the background.
Just happens to be blue and orange. I don't know why. It's man, you don't understand, man. I'm talking to all my friends, and when you win a lot of championships, you stop to realize how important the flavor of championships is. And when you've gone 53 years, and the best I can equate it is for all the Boston Red Sox fans that went all those years watching the Yankees win and win and win, and the curse of the Bambino, for Knicks fans to go 53 years, to come so close so many times and always just be, the bridesmaid and never the bride. This run, this team, this past 2-3 months has been something completely different than we've ever experienced as basketball fans. We've experienced it as football fans, as hockey fans, as baseball fans, but as basketball fans in my lifetime, this is the first time I've experienced this amount of joy.
Right. This is bigger than the football wins, I gotta say.
This is bigger for New York because nobody says that New York is the mecca of football.
Right.
I mean, baseball is big in New York. The Yankees are a religion of their own. Yeah. But basketball is beyond a religion in New York. I would say everybody in New York can play baseball and they can play football, but there's a rim or a hollowed out milk carton hanging on some wall somewhere right now, and somebody's playing basketball in New York.
Right. Yeah. So, I can't blame the Spurs. I blame Boston because that was ours to lose. You guys got your chance and you did your thing. And I do remember a time. I'm not fortunate because that means I'm old, but I'm fortunate to remember a time. Not fortunate. I do remember a time when the Patriots weren't winning. Right. Yep. I mean, the Celtics were winning, and obviously 2004 for baseball for us. So it was only basketball for us for a long time. And so I know the last 20 years it seems like for youngins, it seems like we were always winning. But I do remember those times we weren't not winning and we had to deal with it. But it's great to see. It's great to see, Cat win and Bronson, because these are guys that, if you listen to the pundits, said they didn't have what it takes to do it.
Yeah.
And Mike Brown as well, because listen, man, bro,
yeah,
it's the worst thing to and I can only equate this to like buying stock. The worst thing is to buy a stock and it drop and you sell it and then it goes up. And I think for Mike Brown leaving the Cavs both times and not being a part of the fruit of the labels of the Cavs and a lot of other teams where he was supporting cast on. Mm-hmm. It's like that win is for the underdogs, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there's a motorcycle podcast, but in all sports, there's highs and lows, and sometimes the lows are really low. But in this particular instance, man, I've never seen a more dynamic group of guys that are all kind of from and in and around New York City or have family in New York City, come back to the city that they're from and then win a championship in that city.
Right.
And to just think, we got people have said it a million times, but we got a Dominican, a Puerto Rican, a Jamaican, and an Arab.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
It's four of our five guys, So that doesn't tell you as New York gets, man.
I was going to say it was a win for Jamaicans.
Yeah, it was. I mean, there's not too many 6'3", 6'4" Puerto Ricans around either, man. So it's a win for the Caribbean in general.
Right. And it is a motorcycle podcast, but it would be remiss for us not to also talk about what Lewis Hamilton did winning for Ferrari, because you win for Ferrari, you're a legend, and I mean, I know he's a Sir Knight and he got the title of being that, and that's also extraordinary. But we'll start with TJ. What are your thoughts of Lewis Hamilton winning on the third manufacturer? One of 16 riders to do that, but also to be a dude that possibly has gray hair and still smacking up on 18-year-olds.
I mean, it's big. I mean, he's already a legend in the sport. And just to show his dominance and his skill level, that it doesn't matter what manufacturer that he goes to, that he can put it together and win something. When he went to Ferrari, it took a while, but to show that he can win, it's just incredible. I know that before he went to Ferrari, dealing with Verstappen, and all the, steward rules and stuff where he could have won back then too, or even more. But no, it just shows his talent and how good he is, and how humble he is also, because you don't hear him making noise. He's a very humble guy,
Right.
very friendly. So it's just good to see.
Right. He's somewhat humble. I gotta say, Lewis, man. I mean, a guy in his 40s on Ferrari. Lewis says, TJ says he's humble, but there's, the Kardashian rumors going around. I think it's more marketing. I hope it's not anything else, but that's just me.
I hope so too, because that's a Ferrari with some high mileage, man. He needs to just stay away from that car, man. That car has had too many owners, has been in too many accidents. Like man, you Lewis Hamilton. If she's your muse and just her being around brings you luck, then good. But that's not a car you want to add to your garage, man. That's a car you drive or rent, and then you give it back after the weekend's over, man.
Right.
Maintenance is too high on that one.
But let's talk about Lewis's win, and let's talk about for Ferrari, and what does that mean for motorsport?
I mean, anybody that wins for Ferrari, I mean, we're going back in the annals of history here. If you won on a Ferrari, whether it's been Formula One or Le Mans or any of these prestigious races, you're part of history, man. Ferrari never forgets the races that have brought them championships or brought them wins, and for him to leave the team he was on for a long time and take a chance on Ferrari. I'm glad that he finally got on that top step, man, because this just kind of cements his legend. I start to equate it a little bit to like Tiger Woods in the latter part of his career, when people were like, he's done and everything, but he could still go out there and beat people on any given Sunday. Same thing with Lewis Hamilton, man. I mean, he might be 40, but the dude is in incredible shape. You see him out training, you see him exercising. I mean, my man's got 0.1% body fat. I mean, he's ready to rock every weekend. And unlike motorcycle racing, I mean, don't get me wrong, Formula One is incredibly, incredibly stressful on your body. I mean, you got to be in peak physical condition.
Right.
But unlike motorcycle racing, you're also sitting down, man.
Right. Let me ask this, though, because, we saw what Marquez did a week ago, and he's the elder statesman. But Marquez, Hamilton is in the same caliber. The Woods, the Jordans, Steph Curry, these guys. We see that. I mean, it is pretty impressive. And what does that say for the rest of the Formula One field when the oldest guy on the grid is the only guy that can beat the youngest guy on the grid?
I mean, it just goes to show the quality of the rider that he is.
Yeah.
And I've always said, if he's beating the younger guys, then that just gives the younger guys more to achieve.
Right.
It's the same thing in motorcycle racing. When these young guys beat the champion elder statesmen, the people that have been setting the pace or setting the tone for the past decade. I mean, Lewis Hamilton's been doing this now for 2 decades, man.
He's like, listen,
at the top level.
I could have been your daddy.
Yeah. Like at the top level, you could have been the son of a chick that I randomly slept with in Morocco after a win, and it just gives these young guys a realization that, there are levels to this thing. I think I'm on a level and I need to keep pushing my level because this guy's still on that level, 40 years old. I mean, Marc Marquez is only 33, but if you add in injuries, he's 57. And, Lewis Hamilton has nowhere near the amount of injuries that Marc Marquez has suffered in his career.
Right. I completely agree with that. It's not the same thing at all. Reese, welcome to the show, man. How you doing, man?
What's going on, man?
I'm waiting for your hall pass.
I got it here somewhere. You can keep it. You can have it. In fact, I think it's right here.
It's like a birdie. I'm pretty sure it's like a birdie, right?
Exactly. It's like you can have it. It's right here. You can have the whole pass.
What are your thoughts, man? What Hamilton did in Formula One, winning on a Ferrari? I mean, it is the equivalent of winning on the Ducati. I gotta say.
I mean, I agree with Lewis and TJ. It's something amazing. I mean, the guy's in tip-top shape. It's something very spectacular to see. For it's almost like where Rossi left Yamaha and went to the Honda days and won there. He took a big risk chance. In the beginning, he was just couldn't win. And to finally see him up on that top podium step, man, I was very happy to see him there. And I hope he continues this momentum coming here for the next, rounds.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, listen, man. I mean, the guy is, a couple of second places and now to win. So when you see that, and you hear all the stuff from last year, as you hear stuff as I'm moving stuff around here, for the guy to come around and get on the podium and do what he's doing. I mean, the guy's the best guy in the garage as far as Ferrari's concerned.
I mean, maybe their Kardashian is his lucky charm. I hope not, but
I plead the fifth and all that stuff, and they got powers over all of us. So, I'll leave.
The power of the P.
They don't have power over all of us.
I think we lost Rexy.
Hey, what happened? We lost Rexy.
I think his camera went kaput.
The power of the P, man.
Lewis Hamilton is the GOAT, man. Like to evolve in different levels, just like the Rossi did, different eras of motorcycles, and still able to keep up with competition. Lewis Hamilton's, 40 years old, still keeping up with competition. I mean, obviously he's in four wheels, but like you said, he's in tip-top shape. Like that's still
just something
gotta
amazing.
respect the man. It's kind of like Moto America, just watching Josh Hayes still handle his business, showing that he still got it. You gotta pay the respect.
Yeah,
I completely agree. So, well, let's I can show you the powers of the things that we have no control over. I got to put that on my own show. I'll leave it. Let's talk about World Superbike in Misano. On the face, it seems like Ducati ran away with it, but there was some interesting things. Last round or last week, we're talking about Gerloff, and we were saying how great of a job he was doing with Kawasaki being one bike and stuff like that. And his contract got re-up. Apparently, not only us like what he's doing, Kawasaki like what he's doing, and Kawasaki money's long, but I think he needs a teammate. TJ, what are your thoughts, man? And sign the contract.
I think you got cut off a little bit, but I think you said how's Garrett doing. I think it's awesome news that Garrett extended his contract for another year. Obviously, he's been doing good things. For almost every round, he's been improving, or at least staying up and finishing. But to have another teammate come along, that's awesome. Just to help Kawasaki improve. I think Lewis was saying it. I think they must have been listening to Lewis, like they need some help. So Kawasaki's kind of sound like they're staying in the game. For this past weekend, Misano was a tough track, so didn't really have it. I mean, he did pretty well, but besides like the other guys that crashed out, but he didn't really have it how we think he would. He struggled a little bit, but I think Kawasaki's hopefully going to be improving on the way up.
No, I agree. I hope they are for sure. Reese, what are your thoughts, man, on Gerloff being signed, and Bassani and Lowes look like they all got read up. Sounds like a 1-year deal, but he'll at least get a chance to fight for another day.
I mean, yeah, you get the chance to fight for another day, but we all know is when you have, it's kind of like the pressure's on you when you only have that 1 year contract. When you have a 2 year contract, it's kind of like the pressure's off of you. It's a little bit, a little more relaxed, a little more ease. When you have a 2 year, 1 year is kind of like stress, like, oh God. But I hope there's good signs to come for Cowie. I hope that they want to step their foot back in this game fully and not be looking like a track day group.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely hope that's a good sign to come there. And definitely, I honestly believe that Gerloff himself needs a teammate because myself being on that side, it's kind of hard to get data just from one guy. You can't piggyback or kind of bounce ideas off of, another guy. Like it works here, doesn't work here. But with two guys, you kind of get an idea, you can get a lot more data from the riders instead of just one because it just doesn't work that way.
Right. No, we definitely see the benefit of having, I was going to make a comment about artists that got like 10 people writing for that. Like to see Ducati when they had 8 guys on the grid and everybody could share data. Lewis, what are your thoughts on girl? And
I mean, we talked about it. We talked about it offline, but I'm glad that he was able to get a new contract and stay in World Superbike because coming back to the U.S. is not as fertile. The ground is not as fertile here as it is in World Superbike. He's making a good living. He knows these tracks now. He's been doing this for several years, and he's showing his worth. I mean, he's on a bike that is not super competitive, but he's making it super competitive. It seems like they found some settings that have worked for him in a few tracks. And I hope that this new contract and getting a teammate and having that second seat will help him because right now he's a one-man show and it's very difficult, as Reese said, and a lot of people know, it's very difficult to set up a bike at a very high level if you don't have an A and a B rider to try different things and go out there and maybe try 2 different engine maps, braking maps, torque curves at the same time. You literally have to go out there and every time test everything yourself. And that doesn't give you as much feedback as you want, as much data as you want every single week. Whereas if you have 2 guys, you can send one guy out there with a different torque curve and a different engine braking map and a slightly different setup. And now you've got 2 guys collecting data and you can kind of fine tune that data to make the bike setup a little bit better. And these are the little things that, it doesn't seem important, but a 10th here and a 10th there in every corner because the engine map is better on this bike than on this bike, but the torque map is better on this bike than this bike. All of a sudden, 10th, 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 12 corners, a 10th a corner, you just made up 1.2 seconds. So, I'm making it seem very simple, but it is true. Having a second rider does make the team overall stronger. And we spoke about it, having Garrett come back here to the U.S., one, we all know the U.S. is limited in seats. It's limited in the earning potential. A lot of the riders, even this year, are out there riding, like reset on 1-year contracts. 1-year contracts suck because they put a lot of pressure on the rider. And sometimes it's undue pressure because as a rider, you never know if you might have an accident, man. And I have an accident like right now. Cameron Beaubier is sitting out. He's had shoulder surgery. We don't know how long he's going to be out. If he's on a 1-year contract right now, he's sitting in the hospital on top of everything else he has to think about. He's like, oh man, my contract's over. I got to look for a new job while I'm laying here in the hospital bed because my employer might not re-up me, So giving a rider a 2-year contract gives them a peace of mind. And I know some teams make it seem like, oh, if I only give them a 1-year contract, it incentivizes them to work harder. These guys are professionals, man. They want a race to win. They're not out there just to spin tires and burn gas and go through rubber. They're out there to actually try to compete. Right. Giving them a 2-year contract, what you're really doing is you're giving them the ability to feel a little bit more confident that you've got their back.
Right. No, I agree on a 2-year contract thing. And I think the more that, the podcast is able to go to the Motor America rounds and hear these riders talk, they get the reality of it. It's just kind of like, look here, man, stitch me up and put me back in, coach. there is no like, oh, I got a hangnail, I'll see you next season. It's kind of like, take it off, I don't need it. and move forward, which is it's a different animal in the sport in itself. Let's
a lot
talk.
of cut me, Mickey, cut me.
Say that one more time.
Cut me, Mickey, cut me. I can go back out.
Right. By tapping how many fingers, the asking, he's holding.
How many
up.
fingers you see? Okay, he's good.
It's pretty wild. I'll say this, guys. I mean, I was expecting Ika Lukono to do a little bit more. I mean, I think it's a lot to ask for one rider, but I think he felt good from the Moto America round, maybe too good because he had more crashes than he normally would have had this season, this past round. But the big surprising thing is Yari Montella, because he seems to be the front runner. What's going on with the rest of the Ducati bikes? You know what I mean? I can understand why Ika is second place because it's the pecking order. But these other guys, what's going on? What are your thoughts, TJ, on what Ducati is doing? And, Montella, Bautista, Baltazari, even Sura, which he seems to be finding his way. He's a young boy, so I think he'll figure it out. What are your thoughts, man?
They did. As far as like the top three runners, like Boga, Iguacona, Montella, they always been at the top of the pack. So they've been riding really well. So they're finding something. Hopefully, it can trickle down to help those guys like Bautista and everyone else. But I feel like they still are holding their own. The lower tiers are not really winning anything because obviously Bula has been locking it out and Ika Lecuona is just right behind him. So that's like the main competition right now. But it was good to see it for race one. They got a lockout. So that should help them throughout the season to get more confidence in trying to get the rest of the guys up to speed.
Right. I think it's a race one, Super Pole, and race two. Yari was the third guy up. Reese, man, when the competition is so tight, in the sense that we know first place is locked up, but I think Ika is coming. Is it just availability of components for these bikes to make these guys come up and down, or it's just more or less how comfortable they are at the track? Because we saw Baltazari. I'm pretty sure I'm jacking his name up, but in Boston there was a DJ named Baltazari, but that's a whole different story. What is the up and down for the satellite teams versus the factory teams?
Think about it, man. Your main competition is going to be your satellite teams because they're on the same bike. But where do they get their parts from? They get their parts from the main guys. So I'm not going to give you everything that I'm researching. I'm going to give you up to last year, maybe one new part to make you a little bit competitive. But I'm not going to give you everything that we have. That's your main comp. So for them, their best thing to do is try to figure out how they can make their components work for them to try to bring them up there or come up with components of their own. So it's tough, man. It's a tough game. It's a cutthroat game.
Yeah, bro. That I'm realizing more and more.
Because you can see Louis about to laugh over here because Louis about to say something.
True. No, it's a ruthless game, man. You're not gonna, even in MotoGP, we see it where the factory riders are asking the team to give the satellite riders, less competent bikes. It's cutthroat, man. Everybody's looking out for their W's, nobody else's.
Right. And I think of Morbidelli. I feel like he's just testing all the parts and it's just sending them out there like, bro, just test all the parts. We got you next year. World Superbike. What are your thoughts, man? Is it really like it's really like these dudes are just like, man, I gotta go start cutting some grass and making lunch for some people to get some more parts?
At this point, we know that there's different types of teams out there. There's teams that are just barely have enough budget to get through the season with like 12 crashes. If they go to 13 crashes, they might not even be able to finish the season. It's really that tight, the budget for some of these teams. There's a couple like I just recently heard that one of the bagger teams in MotoGP, they lost one of their main sponsors, and by losing that sponsor, they actually had to drop a rider, or they might actually have to cut back to only one rider to try to get through the 6 rounds that they're in. I mean, money is always tight, and Reese makes it sound like easy that you can develop your own parts. Like, my man, I don't have a machine shop to just develop my own parts. I don't have in-house engineers. I rely on the factory to provide some of the parts, and then I work with these second tier companies like a Suter or Calix or Evans Brothers, or these people, or an Attack Yamaha that make these parts. I rely on them to give me these parts. But even when they give me these parts, it's not like they give me the parts and like a list of like, here's everything you need to do to go fast. Nah, man, here's the parts. Figure that out, because we got our own team and we're giving them the data. We're just giving you the parts. You got to figure that out yourself.
I didn't make it sound that easy. I'm just making it sound realistic.
I don't have a CNC machine behind me. I can't just make a part. I'm gonna make a cam. I don't even know how to make a cam. I don't even know how a cam works.
What's a cam?
It's a thing that goes in a thing.
Hey, you better use those connections and start calling some people overseas or somewhere. Like, hey, we need a part.
We need a cam thingy majigger. How do I get more horsepower? I don't think
it might not even work.
I don't think any of the teams that are there now are going to get much faster. I think most of the bikes have we're already more than halfway. I think we're halfway through the World Superbike season. We only have 10 rounds. I don't think in the next 5 rounds somebody's going to find a magic bullet.
No.
And bring Bulaga down. I do think that he is not going to run the table. I mean, running the table would be something unimaginable, man. If you run the table in motorcycle racing, that's crazy.
Hey, I'm putting $20. He runs the table. I'm putting money on it. He runs the table.
I'm clipping that up one of the few times that Lewis and I agree.
It's a mathematical almost impossibility to run the table. There's so many if he does it, it's because the moons and the stars aligned, the Pirelli gods blessed him,
the
everything
gypsies,
else.
Everybody.
Yeah, you could crash, you could run out of, you could blow a chain, so many things can happen. It's a machine. It's a dude on a machine. It could
be negative. You're being negative right now.
I'm being realistic. Do I want him to run the table? I would love to see him run the table, because we'll never see that again in our lifetime. We'll never see somebody run the table.
If he runs it.
Yeah.
He's going to run it.
That's a massive if, man. I'm actually just hoping that he wins the single season most wins, which is set at 27.
Yeah.
I don't even have to watch the race. Every time I turn around, and another one. And another one. I get it from Lewis.
Hey.
Bro, look at Van der Mar, who barely gets a seat in MotoGP in World Superbike, and he had a mechanical.
Yeah. When you get to 28, I'm gonna stop saying that, because at 28 he breaks the single season winning record, and that's all I want him to do, because Alvaro Bautista don't mean to be the most winningest rider. He sucks. I don't like him. He needs to be in second place.
He's going to do it.
But Ika Lacarona said that he can't catch Bulaga's pace right now.
Oh, so, I like Ika to beat him, because Ika's pissed right now. He's like, he's Chad on Chew and Dennis on Chew, but I think he can figure out a winning way.
Ika's not going to beat him.
That's who he is right now. He's
Ika's not going to beat him. Ika is beating himself.
Listen, Ika made that mistake, and he made that one mistake, and
that's one of too many mistakes.
Yeah, you want the person to beat you. You don't want to give him a pass, and he gave him a pass. But the fact that he's upset, I believe he's gonna get one. I'm not saying he's getting 3 or whatever. I'm just saying he's gonna get one.
Sometimes that's all it takes is one mistake.
I hope he does after Bulaga wins his 28th.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with that. As long as the engine is, don't get me wrong. I'm Ducati all the way, and so I'm not, but I think as from a racing fan perspective, and just as a competitor, Like somebody had to believe they were beating the Bulls, somebody had to believe they were beating the Lakers, somebody had to believe they were beating the Pistons, the Celtics, the Patriots, right? So somebody had to, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I think it's the same way that's going to happen in World Superbike that day. Somebody gonna be like, nah, we gonna get. We might be the Giants of this thing here, but we're gonna get you.
Nah, I have no faith in that.
That's because you're from Philly.
I mean, nah. I think the Cowboys will win a Super Bowl before that.
Oh, come on! Don't do that. Grounds left. Don't do that. There's too many players on the Cowboys to say that. But let's talk about the Lowe's brothers. I'm hoping to prove Lewis wrong on the crashing, but these guys, one of them is still somebody got to just go out on the stretcher. You know, I mean the promoters, the Lowe's brothers, when they on.
Too bad they off in the gravel too often.
Right, or on the ground, or on the stretcher going to the hospital.
Three things you can rely on: taxes, death, Lowe's brothers crashing.
TJ, man, I mean, it's almost like a running joke we could have about them, but we have to talk about it because they are their worst enemies. It seems like because unlike Oliveira, these guys are taking themselves out.
I mean, yeah, they're known for crashing them. I guess for seeing them in the past seasons. This year they've been doing a lot better.
Yep, I'll give you that.
Especially Alex, and he's been figuring out that promoter, and his pace is really, really well. And it's surprising to see how he started. He started front row. So the funny thing is that his brother crashed in race one. I think the same race he had him. No, I think it's the Super Bowl, but I think he had a mechanical. So both of them had an issue throughout the weekend. So yeah, they always have their troubles, but I don't know. They're still running pretty well. Say top 10, we want to see them, but they still have their crashes.
Right. Reese, I mean, where do these two Brits stack against the other Brits that's come into the sport? I mean, they really. We don't know how they're going to retire, but if they're
going to retire on a stretcher.
If they win a championship, they could be the Cinderella, literally, because they've had so many opportunities, but such stepchild luck.
They're not going to win a championship. Yeah, I can't see that. If they win a championship, then I need to go play fucking lotto. I mean, where they stack up against the other Brits, I mean, yeah, they've been around for a while. They've been doing it for a long time, but it's like, I don't know if they're on their way out. It's like I said before, one of my guys in Yamaha used to say a rider has two times. When they first come in, they always crash. Then they kind of settle themselves in, and then when they're on their way out, they crash all the time. They just bend the bike. I don't know if they're on their way out. I mean, it's just they're getting older. They're up in age. Yeah, they're still there, but it's just every time I turn around, they're on the ground. It's like they just bend it up. So, I mean, that's just my cue with them. I'm like, maybe it's time for them to hang it up and just say, we got our money, we got our stuff. Let's go on.
Lewis, are you wrong in this situation?
I don't want to be as negative as my friend Reese here, but I mean, these guys have been around the block for a very long time. They've had so many opportunities on so much different equipment on so many different teams. They've had factory rides. They've had the best equipment out there, and they do this to themselves, man. There's something about these guys that they have an extra gravitational pull to the earth that nobody else has. Newton's law of gravitational pull does not apply to them. They actually have more gravitational pull than anything else. I mean, these guys are their own black holes, man. They make their own gravity. And I'll tell you what their problem is. Their problem is the dude inside their helmets is their problem, because they're their own worst enemy, man. That's who their problem, man. If they look inside their helmet, that's their problem right there, man. It makes no sense, man. Like, how do you toss it away at a certain part of the race? Every racer has to kind of put together a couple of things. How much pace do I have? Where do I think I can finish? Where do I want to finish? And how much do I want to push?
Right. Listen, I don't mean to throw it a bucket of water on it, but I feel the same way about the Spurs and the Knicks, right? They had all the opportunities in the world to close this thing out.
But my man, if in the fourth quarter you keep crashing, you got nobody to blame but yourself. The Spurs should have swept the Knicks. For them to lose is the equivalent of the Lowe's brothers. They actually took a playbook from the Lowe's brothers and they applied it to the Spurs. We're going to do really, really good in practice, in free practice, in qualifying, and all this, and we're going to make sure we win this thing in the race. Fifth place is better than the crash truck. Trust me, I've been in the crash truck. I've been in fifth place. I'd rather be in fifth place than in the crash truck. Yeah, it hurts less and it's less expensive.
Yeah. And getting over, 4 people beating you is a lot better than everybody.
Yeah. I can get over 4 people beating me. If I'm by myself and I've got my place secure, I got a 2-second lead from the guy behind me. I've got a 3-second gap to the guy in front of me. I've got 6 laps left. I'm not going to catch the guy in front of me. I'm not going to find a second and a half pace at the end of the race. But if I keep this pace, I finish in 5th. Right. Oh, but you know what? I'm just going to crash. Yeah. What are you doing, bro?
It happens, man. Crashing on the second to last lap. I've done it.
No, it does not happen.
It happens. It happens because of lack of focus, man.
Yeah, I agree. I did.
And it's like these dudes need to take like focus classes. Like you got to focus for the entire race, man. And they focus sporadically during the race. And you see most of their crashes. I will give them this. A couple of times they have been hit, they've gone down, but look at their crashes, man. 95% of their crashes, there's nobody near them.
Right. And they're in good positions to finish.
And in good positions to finish either on the podium or in a lot of points.
Yeah.
Like top 5, top 6.
I agree. Speaking of a lot of points, let's go to MotoGP. MotoGP is in the Czech Republic this coming weekend. We're still not at the summer break, but this was a Telemundo series. It would be number 1. If whatever series you want to say, because watching and what's been going on in MotoGP has been crazy. We saw how the last round played out. Marc Marquez kind of... he was the best poker player that weekend. To hear Pecco say it and says, I'll never play cards with him. What do we expect to see from the Czech Republic? Is it business as usual at this point in time? If you are Digia, if you're Martin, if you're Bez, if Acosta, do you sit here and don't think about Marc Marquez right now? Or do you focus on like, okay, I got to make sure I stay 100 points in front of Marquez? What do you think these other riders should be thinking this weekend and planning this weekend? Not just the riders, the team and everything. We'll start with TJ.
I mean, I don't know how they're going to plan. It's just going to have to go out and ride. I mean, their heads all twisted up, I'm sure, for Mark. He's a good poker player. And last year he won first place at this track. So I think he's back and you're just going to have to worry about him. I know he's not in the standings in the runnings like top 3 anything yet, but he can sure come quick. And for Bezzecchi, for the position that he's in right now, knowing that he's trying to win and he has to win, and same with Pedro Acosta, riding a little better and he's trying to fight for a championship, being, I think 4th place right now. Going into this track right before the break, I'm sure they want to win and they're going to do whatever they can. But, you got that boy Mark. Right. That boy Mark is going to be up to something and it's always going to be in the back of their head. And it's just, I'm sure that it's just going to be in their head or something's going to rattle them because of this guy.
Right. Now, Reese, I mean, I think, the only thing I can compare to what MotoGP is going through with Marquez right now is when Petrucci came to Moto America. What were you guys thinking when he came and he was being so dominant? I mean, you got your boy obviously took the championship, but what these other riders should be thinking when they see Marquez do what he did? Petrucci is probably the closest thing in Moto America to kind of come from somewhere else and knock it out of the box.
And the best thing you do is just, you have to worry about him. You somebody like that you cannot take lightly. You can't not just like, we're not worried about him, because at the end of the day, he's still mathematically in the championship and he's in the points. He's coming back healthy, and he's very dominant. When he gets on that tear and gets in that mindset, he's a dangerous man. Somebody like Martin, you want to call it, he needs to really focus on what he needs to do in this round, because you have that double long lap penalty coming. So that's going to hurt him, in points. It's going to hurt him in position. So the best thing that he can actually possibly do, in my opinion, is try to get it done early. Get it out the way, and move forward. Someone like Bezecchi and Digi, you definitely have to keep in the back of your mind that this guy, Marquez is coming. He's smiling. He's happy. So he is now one of your competitors and a danger man. And as you want to call it, a dark horse that can steal a championship. If you're not paying attention, you keep crashing or putting the bike on the ground or a DNF, you can lose this championship.
Right. Lewis, what are your thoughts? I know these guys lost to Marquez last year, but getting hurt and coming back and doing what he's doing. You heard Reese, you heard TJ. Is it save the point? Worry about what Marquez is doing. Don't worry about what Marquez is doing, and just kind of ride your ride and see where the chips fall.
I mean, no rider should go out there worried about what somebody else is doing, man. If you're going out there riding worried about what somebody else is doing in the mental game, you're already losing. You have to go out there and you have to try to do the best you can do with you and your team and on your bike. And we don't know, Marquez had a great weekend at the last round in Hungary, but that doesn't mean that it's going to carry over necessarily to Brno. It could be something that was unique to that track that helped him because, maybe because it was a very specific type of track, a clockwise track that didn't have a lot of long left-handers or things like that. Because, again, we don't know where he is at with his injuries. So maybe a track that has a different layout might expose that some of his injuries still are lingering and he's still recovering. So maybe that track helped him cover up some of the pain that he was riding through and everything else. I mean, he's not 100% fit. No matter what anybody says or his poker face, I mean, you can't have a bent screw and a broken this and a broken that and be 100% fit in less than 6 weeks, man. And especially not at his age. We're not bouncing back at this age. I'm saying this age. My man's mad younger than me, but even at that age, I wasn't bouncing back very fast. So I think anybody who's going into the weekend worried about Mark, stay home, man. You already lost because you're worried about what somebody else is doing. Go there with one attitude. I want to be the best rider I can be on that weekend. Me and my team are going to work to put the best bike out there. And to be honest with you, man, if you look at the guy that's really been there for the last few weeks, rain and shine, it's Pedro Acosta, man. He's quietly just been that guy, that annoying mosquito at a barbecue that will follow you around the entire picnic area and for some reason not leave you alone. He's been that dude. When everybody else is falling, when everybody else is falling, when everybody else is crashing into everybody, who's that guy in like second or third pace? It just won't go away. It's Pedro Acosta. I think Bezecchi needs to have a big bounce back. I mean, he had a pretty decent weekend going, if not for Martin. And Martin, I hope he crashes during his long lap penalty, man. Takes himself out.
Ruthless. You talking about?
I really do, man. I hope he clips the white line during one of his 2 long lap penalties, and he gets another long lap penalty. Right. If he finishes in 23rd spot, it's still not low enough. He should have been sitting out this round for what he did. And I hope that at some point they bring this in. I know that MotoGP is talking about testing before the summer break, not using the launch devices anymore.
Okay.
This is the track to do it because Bruno's got a long straightaway for a launch, and it's got a very, very sharp right-hand turn at the end of its front straightaway. So this is the time. Get rid of the launch devices. Let's see who still launches. And I guarantee you, man, Marc Marquez is going to launch like a rocket because he was launching these bikes before they had these little trick gimmicks.
Right. Isn't there? It is a chicane now, right?
Turn one, no.
Not
Turn one
at
at
all.
Bruno is a straight and a right.
Okay.
It's a long right, quick left, I think.
Yeah,
I'm getting a Red Bull Ring, Austria, and maybe Bruno confused.
Yeah, I think it's the second. It might be the second fastest crash ever recorded was at Bruno, because the first fastest crash was at Mugello down the front straightaway when Marquez lost it coming over that little bump and crashed. I think that was the fastest a MotoGP ever hit the ground. And the second fastest was at Bruno when Johan Mir self-ejected off a Suzuki because he realized he had no brakes when he went to the brake marker.
Oh, wasn't that didn't Vinales also have to eject too?
I mean, a lot of people are self-ejected, but I know specifically at Bruno, Johan Mir and the Suzuki had to jump off at like the 400 marker when he went to the brake and the brake lever went to the handlebar and he realized, I'm not making this.
Listen, and I'm harsh. And listen to this. And I'm harsh. I'm negative.
I'm not negative.
All right, let's look. Tonight's a quick one, guys. So let's have our picks for this weekend, and we'll get out of here. Who's ready? TJ, you ready?
Start with TJ.
Yeah,
I start with T.
Always gotta start with me. But yeah, I just want to clear some. I know some of these riders they got to go into the race worrying about their own. But when you get a certain amount of points, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Who's this stealing my points?" Somebody's just jumping in. Just where'd you come from? That's what I'm saying. It's just like he's stealing. He's not stealing food. It's just like, damn, this guy's back.
But that's the white girl in a horror movie mentality. Why do you think white chicks always fall in a horror movie? Because they're worried about who's following them. If they just worried about running, they wouldn't fall.
I'm worried about Bezzecchi and Pedro, trying to get this championship, and Mark not keeping up on them, so they don't fall. But let's see. I say for the sprint, I'm definitely going with Bezzecchi. I feel like he has to, after last weekend, his blood is boiling. He's ready to go. Same with Pedro, and
Raul.
I do want to say, and I want to say I'm picking Pedro, Bezzecchi, and I know y'all are hating on Martin right now, but I'm going to probably pick him for the sprint. I know his penalty goes towards the GP race, so for the GP, I'll say Mark, Bezzecchi, and Pedro. I'm gonna stick with that top three.
Okay, that's what's up. Reese, what do you got?
Sprint. Listen, you didn't fail me the last. I'm gonna go back. We going Mark. We going Martin. And I'm gonna give Bezzecchi his shot because he hasn't really done nothing on Saturday's race. But I'm gonna give him his shot in Saturday's race.
He finished top 4 of that.
He's not consistent in the Saturdays though.
This is the most consistent round, fast round. So at least he's moving in the right direction.
Exactly. So that'll be my sprint for the race. I'm still going Mark. I'll go Bezzecchi, and I'm going Acosta.
Okay. I like that. What are your thoughts, Lewis?
Sprint, I'm going Mark just because it's a shorter distance race. So I think his health won't come into play there. Second, I'm going to go Bez. And third, I'm going to go Agura.
Okay.
And I think for the race, just because of the layout of Bruno, Acosta.
You're giving Acosta his first win? Holy
Acosta,
crap.
I'm giving Acosta. This is the weekend Acosta does it, man. He gets the monkey off his back. Acosta, Bezzecchi, and Marquez.
Okay. I like that.
This is the weekend. Acosta gets the monkey off his back. Put your money down. Put it on Kalshi.
I like that. Sprint, I'm gonna go with Martin. I'm putting Vez in there. And it's tough. Digia. And then in the main race, I'm going Bez. That's tough. I'm gonna go Bez, Agura, and Pecco.
He's sticking with his Pecco guy.
It's the first time, man. Relax.
Pecco got fourth last year.
Wasted pick.
That's
all right. We need to catch up on some points, so let him waste that pick.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not that far from him, though, so I'll take it.
Pecco got a taste of the podium. He might be back.
He's there.
That's the only Bezzecco he gonna take.
Oh my God! Here we go. Listen, if the Knicks can win, anything is possible.
Damn,
that's true. I thought there was gonna be like the Cowboys.
Bro,
never get one.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say the Red Sox did wait a long time.
Yeah,
they did.
It was like 1918 or something like that before they got one. It was almost 100 years before they got a championship.
Look, I'm right there. $3.99 to $4.05. I'm coming for you right there, real quick.
I missed what three rounds I didn't bet, or 4 rounds I didn't bet. 3 rounds.
Yeah.
It's all right. We'll do the mathematical equations based on the amount of times I bet. It seems like a pretty good number. It seems like a pretty good percentage.
I'm sure we'll find a way that you did well.
We'll find the numbers way to work this out.
Listen, I gotta get Rexy, man. I gotta catch up to Rex.
Hey, listen, I'm trying, man. This is almost as sweet as winning some of these titles I got behind me. So. We'll see. Any win is a win. It's like Michael Jordan is like, he's not racing a car, but he's acting like he did.
Exactly. A win is a win.
Ain't no perfect seasons out here like Booligan.
Right.
So the schedule for this weekend, Rex, what's it looking like?
The schedule for this weekend, we're talking about
next weekend for the Ridge.
Oh
yeah.
Well, we'll talk about that next Monday, but we do have Loudon Classic before I get out of here. And let's talk about that. I'm not quite sure. This is the first year I didn't get a chance to see who signed up. But let's talk about that. I mean, one of the oldest road racing series in the U.S. The purse is over $250,000. We can debate about how you feel about racing at the track. What are you guys' thoughts on the Classic? Should more national and international riders show up? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been a good turnout from the first year they did it. I think like the 100th. Got a couple pros and obviously locals, and then year by year it's been getting better. So I think the turnout is pretty solid. I mean, I'm sure a lot of guys want to see more bigger names, but you still got the regulars. I would say that've been coming from day one, like Tyler Scott, and I think like Joel Amandry's coming, and Hayden Gillum came last year, I believe. I'm not sure he's coming again, but yeah, I haven't seen the list, but it's becoming a weekend that's this person always holds up. It's sure it's gonna soon bring a lot more attention, more than it already has, and like I think if you qualify, you still win money regardless. So it's like 30 think 25 or 30 races that that are on the grid, and you still get something out of it. It's just top 10 or top 15, you get the big money, but it's still a good fun weekend.
Right. Reese, man. I mean, I ain't gonna say. What are your thoughts, man, on the classic?
I mean, the classic is great, man.
So I'm just saying.
I think the classic is great, man. It gives everybody a chance. I know it's a great turnout. I mean, more internationals come. They get the feel of the tracks. It's a lot more exposure for motorcycle racing here in America. And I think it's great because then it's more opportunities for people to get money in their pocket than versus just going to Moto America and, being dominated by the factory teams or the big boys or the big dogs, as you want to call them, and not having a shot. But so I think it's actually great, to actually let people put money in their pockets to do something they love to do.
Right. No, I agree. I do like it, and I think we see other race events that are coming up because I don't want to say because of it, but similar to it. Lewis, what are your thoughts, man? I mean, does this add up?
No, it definitely adds up. I mean, this is a unique opportunity. We don't have too many. I think this year we might have 3 of these money races where guys can show up and supplement their pro career, because the pro guys aren't necessarily getting paid what people think they're getting paid. So races like this give them an opportunity to put some money in their pocket and keep going out and training and racing and doing regional races, as well as some Moto America, some Pan America. So any of these big money races, it's fun. I wish that they were a little bit more organized. I wish there was a way that people can jump on and see them televised. I wish there wasn't 10 different organizations running these types of events, because if there was one concerted organization running all of them, they can kind of sell this as a package deal to like a TV provider or somebody. But, the Loudon Classic is run by these people, and this new money race that's happening in Texas is run by these people, and the Pan American Superbike Series is run by these people. And, everybody's fighting for their piece of the pie, not realizing if we actually put all the slices together, we would have a pie. Right now, we just got slices.
Right.
And, but I like to have them because you have no idea how many guys show up. And this is a big part. Like, they actually put this on their schedule as this is the weekend I can make $15,000.
Right.
At least, even if it costs me, 18 to go there, if I walk away with this much, I'm going to pocket $15,000 after all my expenses.
No, it's pretty. Go ahead.
And, Brees will tell you, but like a few years ago, Hayden Gillum did this race and a couple of a few other money races. And between what he won on these money races and what he won in Motor America, that's what got him through the year, man. He was actually one of the highest paid non-factory riders in the country. And I want to say it was somewhere in the neighborhood of like 250 to 300,000 that he won between all these money races. Yeah. And everything he won as a non-factory rider. So Go out there and get faster, kids.
There you go. My name is Rex45. It's the Be Forever Cool podcast. I want to thank TJ's with Two Wheels and Coffee, Reese Matak Yamaha, Luis Ortega, the real Luis Ortega, the numbers guy. Peace.